Hello, everyone. Welcome to Everything Arsenal. Now, we have an update on Gyökeres. His medical will definitely be done tomorrow because he's flying to London tonight. And then after tomorrow, he'll actually fly to Singapore. I thought maybe he would be waiting not to fly to Hong Kong because it's too late for him to play against Newcastle. But actually, he might end up making that game. And then the latest on Mosquera, the latest on Anthony Gordon. We want two players from Newcastle. Oh, the other one is a bit of, the fans want Isaac. I don't know if Arsenal really wants Isaac at the moment, but we might definitely want Anthony Gordon. We are looking for a winger, and also the latest on Eze. So let's start with this one on Gyökeres. Ben Jacobs says, understand the plan for Viktor Gyökeres is to undergo his medical tomorrow evening in London. He'll then fly with Andrea Bata to Singapore to join up with Arsenal's pre-season tour. Cristhian Mosquera has also joined the Arsenal squad after being formally announced. Now, first of all, he's going to travel with Andrea Bata together. That is interesting. I don't know where Andrea Bata is right now. Looks like he's in London to complete the deal. He's done a good job for us, Andrea Bata. I mean, he's definitely done a great job for us so far. And we finally have a striker. He'll finally undergo his medical. We got the here we go from Fabrizio on was it Tuesday? But the player wasn't allowed to travel for a medical because all the papers need to be signed first, and then Sporting need to give it the green light for you to for him to undergo the medical. And the green light came earlier today, not really the previous couple of days. And Fabrizio earlier today, confirmed that everything has been signed, everything has been done, and everything has been cleared for Gyökeres to undergo a medical. So he will be traveling to London to get his medical done. There was also some reports a couple of days ago that he will be traveling to Singapore to undergo his medical there, but maybe that was inaccurate, or maybe things have changed since then, since Sporting didn't give him the green light, so he'll undergo the medical in London and then fly over to Singapore to join up with the rest of the team. And I cannot wait for him to make his debut, man. Whether it's going to be the Newcastle game or the Tottenham game, I'm really looking forward to that one, man. The first time you're going to have a striker in a long time is going to really hit different, man. The last time we signed an out-and-out striker was 2018, Aubameyang in January, and that is more than 7 years ago. That's a long time. We've not had an out-and-out striker who's been scoring a bunch of goals. That is crazy. We'll finally be able to celebrate that, and Gyökeres will finally be an Arsenal player in a £63 million deal. So let's see. I guess tomorrow we're going to get another update of the medical getting done, and then him flying over to Singapore with Andrea Bata to join up with the rest of the team. Now, he does mention Mosquera. We'll talk about Mosquera in the next one, but that's the latest on Viktor Gyökeres. Every report on him recently has been accurate, from Hand of Arsenal and Fabrizio mentioning the deal getting done. Hand of Arsenal mentioning that all the updates that we've had about Gyökeres recently have been pretty accurate in terms of the medical, in terms of the deal getting done, in terms of the add-ons and what the delay was. I'm still interested to know what the delay was, or in terms of who accepted what. Did Sporting accept the offer from Arsenal? Did Arsenal end up paying what Sporting wanted? I'm interested to hear that. Now, Gyökeres is not the only player we're going to sign. He's going to be our sixth signing, but we obviously need more. And I did a poll earlier on the live show, and I asked you guys, how many more signings do you want after Gyökeres? And most people said, more than two. Not just one. Some people say 2 more, 3 more. There's even 4 more votes for 4 more. I don't think you're going to get 4 more, but it would be great to get another winger in our team because we are kind of short in the winger position. Now, will that winger be Anthony Gordon? Will that winger be Anthony Gordon? This is the news on him. Now, according to Court Offside, Arsenal's focus has shifted towards Newcastle's Anthony Gordon after accepting defeat in the Alexander Isak race. Now, again, earlier today we talked about Isaac and Gyökeres. Isaac has become available. I personally do not agree with the fans who are saying, let go of Gyökeres, forget about Gyökeres, go for Isaac. I don't agree with that. We apparently have enough budget to go for Isaac, but does Isaac really want to join us? That's a bit of a weird one as well. Maybe he actually does want to join Liverpool and not Arsenal. That would be one to look out for. Now, for Anthony Gordon, we've been linked to him for a couple of months now. At the beginning of the transfer window, we were told that Andrea Bata talked to different wingers. We were told that he talked to Lookman, he talked to Nico Williams, he talked to Rodrigo, he talked to, I think, Rafa Leao as well, and also Anthony Gordon. Now, it's also not easy doing business with Newcastle. We've tried with Alexander Isak the last couple of years. It hasn't worked. Does Anthony Gordon want to leave Newcastle? Does he want to stay? They've signed Elanga. Will Elanga be replacing Anthony Gordon in the starting lineup? Could be, especially if they end up signing Sesko as well to play up front. There was a few games where Anthony Gordon was playing up front when Isaac was not there. But when they sign Sesko from Leipzig, will he be playing there? Will he be on the bench? Elanga will be starting games. All that is very crucial to know. Now, does Gordon joining Arsenal mean he definitely starts for us? Probably not. I feel like someone like a Rodrigo Leao coming to us, so that would mean they're definitely starting on the left wing. For Anthony Gordon, he's been better than what we have the last couple of seasons, but I don't think it necessarily means he's definitely going to start when he joins Arsenal. He might be a rotation option with the rest, but I don't know if he definitely starts. But he's been very, very good for Newcastle for like 2 years. I think he scored against us in 2 seasons in a row as well. Emirates and at their place too. That controversial goal is the one who scored, and he's been very good. I remember when he moved from Everton, people are like, "Oh, that money, 50 million plus, is not worth that." Now, that's the other thing. How much do Newcastle want for Anthony Gordon right now? Because all the other wingers we've been looking at, they've been a lot of money. Rodrigo, you're talking about 80 million plus. Leao would be like 60 million. Who else? All the wingers would be a lot of money. If you wanted Lookman, it would be 40 million, 50 million. Like, all of these players are very expensive, and Newcastle don't mess around with their players. They probably will say they want like 6 million for Anthony Gordon. So are we going to be able to get that kind of a player? I don't know. We were told we have enough budget to go for both Gyökeres and Isaac. So if you don't go for Isaac, does that mean you'll now pay for Eze and also pay for a different kind of winger, cheaper winger than Rodrigo? Let's wait and see. It would be great to have a different winger. I would definitely take Gordon at Arsenal if he's like less than 50 million. I'd probably do it, but 70, 80 million, that's another thing. And I think that is where they're going to, that's kind of how much they would want. And yeah, it's not looking good for Newcastle at the moment. It looks like they're going to lose Isaac, and looks like a few teams are going for Anthony Gordon as well. Now, one signing we've announced today is Mosquera, confirmed here, 15 million fee in euros. So total of 17 million pounds after add-ons, 13 million plus 4 million in add-ons. That was confirmed by Arsenal and Fabrizio, and the signing was confirmed today. I cannot wait for him to get started as well. I did a welcome video, welcome live, when he talked about his stats, how good he is in terms of minutes played, how good he is in terms of the best defenders in La Liga. He was number one in a few stats here and there. We went through it in that video, and very exciting. At the moment, we have a couple of players who are injured defensively, and we have players who we need to protect a bit, players like Calafiori. So Mosquera at 21 years of age, ready to go, happy to join Arsenal. I absolutely love players who, fight to join Arsenal, and Mosquera is one of them. I cannot wait for him to get started. He will definitely make his debut against Newcastle. Interesting to see whether he's going to start or come on for Saliba. Personally, I would start him in that game next to Kivio, have Saliba coming off the bench, have Saliba starting the Tottenham one on Thursday. But whichever way it happens, I cannot wait for Mosquera to make his debut. He's going to be our new number 3, or he is our new number 3. He can play both sides, next to Gabriel or next to Saliba. Both sides are okay with him. And at 21 years of age, he's ready to go, ready to cook for us. He's already been, going around with the rest of his teammates, Kepa, Ryan, all those guys. I cannot wait for him to get started. So welcome to Arsenal, Mosquera. That's our 5th signing of the transfer window. Wow. It's a lot. And another good deal. I think the Kepa one is a very good deal. I do think the Zubimendi one is a very good deal. I think the Mosquera one is a very good deal. I do think the Nogard one is a very good deal as well in terms of money. Gyökeres for less than 70 million. I thought he was going to cost 80 million. I think it's a very good deal. The only one that is, people are worried about in terms of the money is Madueke. So hopefully it does work out for us. But all the other 5 deals in terms of money, I think all of them are very good deals. Getting Kepa for 5 million, that is very, very good. And Mosquera as well for, 13 million when they wanted 20 million plus at the beginning of the transfer window. I think that is absolutely perfect. Now, Eze. Next up, Eze. Let's talk about Eze. That should be our next signing. All the fans want this to be our next signing. Graham Bailey said that Eberechi Eze has told friends that he's going to join Arsenal this summer. TBR Football understands Arsenal have now held discussions with Crystal Palace and the player about a move. So now we have the cost is clear for us to talk to Eze. We've been active in a lot of deals, trying to finalize the Gyökeres deal, trying to finalize the Mosquera deal, trying to finalize the Nwaneri deal recently. Now, all of those ones are done. After the Gyökeres medical, all of those ones are done. And now we can finally try and go for, Eze, try and make bids. There's, I think Matt Law said we might actually make a bid very, very soon to try and get Eze, who really wants to join us. So he's already told friends he's going to go to Arsenal. So it's going to be very interesting to see whether we can get this deal done. I mean, we've been starving for forward players. If we actually finish a transfer window getting, Gyökeres, Eze, those 2 top players over the last 3 seasons or something, and Madueke is also going to join us, whichever position he plays. If he comes to us and it becomes an improvement in our team, all of a sudden we have 3 new attackers freshening up our team up front. more goals, more assists, more chances created, more wins, because we have a very good defense. We still have players like Christ there, still have Saka there, still have Odegaard there, still have Saliba there. We still have a very solid team. So if we can add Eze to that as well, it gives him more options on the left. It gives you more options on the 8. It gives him more options in terms of an Odegaard rotation option. Exciting signing. If we go into the season having Gyökeres and Eze in the starting lineup, can you imagine how exciting that would be? And all of a sudden, you look at the bench and you're like, ooh, Madueke on the bench, Merino on the bench, Noga Zubimendi on the bench, Calafiori or Lewis Kelly on the bench, Ben White or Timbo on the bench, Mosquera on the bench. You know, you look at the bench and you're like, okay, this is really good. This is better than last season. Last season when we were having 3 goalkeepers on the bench, and then 2 youngsters in Butler, Deji and Kabi, and then really Jorginho, midfielder. We only had like 1 attacker on the bench last season in Joe Starling, so we never really had any options. It got to a point where we in a Champions League semi-final, we are trying to catch up to Liverpool in the Premier League, and we were bringing on Tierney as a left winger, bringing on Butler, Deji as a striker. We were in the gut in terms of that. So now we'll be able to turn to players like Eze to come on, turn to players like Zubimendi and Noga to come off the bench. That is very exciting, very, very exciting. So let's see how the Eze one develops, and let's see how quickly we can move for him. Now, if we didn't get Mosquera, these were the other 2 options that we are trying to get in the transfer window. There's a third one, Jorel Hato, but looks like he's going to go to Chelsea. Arsenal were willing to spend significant money on defensive cover this summer. They informed both Dean Howson and Mark Gay that they would strongly consider spending what was necessary to sign them, but the Gunners' hopes of completing either deal was slim. So yeah, it was very expensive. Dean Howson cost more than 50 million to Madrid, and Gay currently is being linked to teams like Newcastle and Tottenham, but he's going to cost a lot of money. And if you're going to get a player from Crystal Palace, for me, I want it to be Eberechi Eze. Now, Gay, those kind of players would have been great signings, but we're really just looking for a backup for Saliba and Gabriel. And on the left side, for me, I would keep Kivior. We have Calafiori. On the right side, I'm happy to bring in Mosquera. I don't think it was needed to go and pay 50, 60 million for a backup defender. That kind of money we needed to spend on players like Gyökeres and players like Eze and any other forward player. But defensively and goalkeeper backup, I was happy for us to spend, anything from 10 million to 20, 30 million. And that is what we've done, with Norgard and Kep and all those guys. And all of them are good signings, as you've seen. We need squad depth. We didn't only need quality in the team. We also needed quantity. We were struggling for numbers last season. And at the moment, I think after signing Gyökeres and getting Mosquera, I think we've addressed a lot of that. So I just need to finalize the Eze deal, and let's see if we're going to go for an 8th player after that, even if it's late in the transfer window. But exciting time. So far, Andrea Bat has done an incredible job. Now we wait to hear whether they're going to give Saka or Saliba a new contract anytime soon. If one of those is announced this month or early next month, that will be a huge boost as well. So I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait for these players to get started. But that's the latest. Gyökeres is arriving for his medical. It will be done tomorrow. He will fly to Singapore to join the rest of the team, and we finally have a striker, guys. After all these years, we finally have a striker. I cannot wait for him to get started. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you're enjoying all the updates, and I'll catch up with you on the next one.